Alright, so this is how you can play uh, I Shall Not Be Moved. I created a tab for it. Now, I transcribed the one by Kelly Griner. He had a very great rendition of it, and I basically just tabbed his out with, I like doing a lot of drop thumbs, so I got my little spin in it as well. So, if you want to follow along or if you like reading tabs, then hey, the tab is available. If you can't read tablature or you prefer having like visual demonstration, well, lucky you. I got my camera right there with my phone and my banjo in my hand. So, here we go. I'm about to show you how to play this one. So, this one's in your standard tuning of G. So, you're in just G over here. So, your fifth string is going to be on G. Then fourth is going to be D. Third G, second B, one D, standard G. This song is real fun. I'm telling you, I have fun playing this one. This one was I kept I've just been playing it literally singing it and playing it like literally the last 2 days now. So it's real simple. So it's really only two chords for the whole song. It's your G, which is for us and for on our banjo, that's just all strings open, and then you got your four chord that's going to be your C. So if you don't know what the C is, so here's my ring finger right here on the second fret, first string. My index finger is on the first fret, second string, and then my middle finger is on the second fret, fourth string, and that'll give you your four right there. So that's your four. If you're not sure what the four is, if you know what it is, you might want to skip past this part. So then the next chord that you need to know is your D. But we're not playing a standard D that you might be familiar with in other tunes. We're gonna be playing a D7. So that's it. So your D7 right here, you're gonna have your index finger is gonna be on the first fret, second string, and then your middle finger is gonna be on the second fret, third string. That'll give you your D7. And then that's the chord progression: 1, 4, a D7, and that's it. There's a walk down as well, and we're gonna come back to it later, but you're gonna hear this. Oh, I messed that up. Well, let's do it again. It's just a little walk down. We're gonna cover it. It's really simple, but don't overthink it. You're just walking down on that. All right, so this demonstration we're gonna be following along to the tablature. So if you're not familiar, so again, if you can read tablature or you want to follow along with it, this is it for you. All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna play it one up the tempo, and then I'm gonna slow it down. It's a pretty easy tune, so I'm not gonna go over it way too much on the slow breakdown. So here we go. We're going to do this over here. So here's the first part you need to be aware of. It's pretty simple. That's the first part. That's A. Okay. And I actually I'll notate that as well in the sheet music. Just say it out loud and just notice, hey, I gotta mark the B part. So that's the A part. So let's do it again. There we go. Now I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna get closer so you can see what's going on over here, all right? All right, there it is right there. So that's how you play that part. So some things to be aware of in the tablature that I have right here. So in my tabs, I like to mark whenever I'm doing a hammer-on, pull-offs, or or if I'm doing my thumb, I do drop thumb. So my hammer runs are always marked with an H. Pull offs are with a PO, and then now my pull offs are always have a slur in it. That's not saying like you slur. I just I marked it like don't stop. Like there shouldn't be a pause. It like you shouldn't hear anything. I do that for myself, so it should just flow with the pull off. It just flows with it, okay? And then the other thing is the TH. That's drop thumb. Now I'm not gonna do a drop thumb demonstration. There are masters that can teach that to you, so I'm just gonna point out where the drop thumbs are. Now a lot of the tablature, I tabbed it how I play it. Now I may do some variations here or there, like on the walk down. On the tablature, I have it marked like this. But I like my eighth note, so you'll hear I pop the fifth string during that. So, but almost all my tabs are like a 99% rendition of how I play it. So you're not getting like, hey, here's tablature, but that's not the exact way I play it. This is how I play it. So let's cover some things. So in the fourth measure, you're gonna notice that I got a drop thumb right there. So I'm gonna play the first four measures. Second measure, third measure. That was the fourth measure. So here it is again. Now you don't have to do the drop thumb. You really don't. You can just do. You don't have to. It's just flair. It's just flair. So if you want to do the drop thumb, throw it in there. But just know you don't have to. I just like drop thumbing. I do it anytime I can. It's just fun. So you don't have to do the drop thumb. Another thing to be aware of is, as I already brought up before, is with the rundown into the fourth. I've already told you I do this. I do an extra eighth note in. That's just what I like to do. You don't have to do that. So that's one more thing right there. Anything else to be aware of in this tab? Not really, but I'm gonna go over the solo. So I created this solo. I hope you enjoy it. If there are any other banjo players that are out there, I strongly encourage you to put your solos in your tabs like I do. Like, just don't. It makes it better. Just help other people out. If you got a solo, point it out, put it in your tablature, whatever. That's just my little quip. So let's talk about the solo. I'm gonna just play it first, okay? I'm gonna slow it down. That's the solo. Alright, now, things that you need to be aware of. If you're not familiar with jumping around, you're gonna struggle on doing this up to speed. So the only thing I can really say to you, if you're trying to play the way how I play it, is just practice. There's no other way, no other shortcuts. Now, most banjos, they have little markers that you can see on the side that help guide you. So if you have those little fret markers, that can help you out. But again, when you're up to speed, you can only glance at it. Like your eyes glance where you should be, and you know where you gotta be. So one thing so a little tip that I learned, that I taken from me from marching band. When you're in marching band, you can't march and play your instrument and do both actively thinking at the same time. One is automatic. That's how you know the difference between a good marching band player and one that's kind of struggling along. One of these has to be passive. You just do it. It's automatic. You know it. And the other you're thinking about. Like for me, when I was in grade school and doing marching band, Music, the playing and the music was easy to me. It was just easy. That comes like I'll play it all day. You ask me for a specific measure, I'd whip it out. That was automatic to me. So I was thinking about where I should be and and rolling my feet. I'm thinking about the marching, but the music's automatic. Um, that's what. So coming back to bringing up to the banjo. If you're not familiar with like jumping around, you're going to always struggle because you're not thinking ahead. One step has to be active. You're either thinking where your hands need to be, or you're thinking about how to play the music. One of these has to be automatic. It's the same principle with when you learn how to play Clawhammer. You can't be looking at your hand trying to play Clawhammer and doing this at the same time. It's the same concept. So one of these has to be automatic. Pick which one it's going to be for you. All right, rant over or over explanation over. Let's talk about the solo now. So things you need to be aware of. A lot of it is just jumping around. So one thing that I do want to point out is on the where's it at? Okay, so right here. Look at my left hand. Watch very closely with my left hand. I'm going to over exaggerate so you see what I'm doing. I may mess up the first time, but I'll get it right the second time. So watch the left hand. Watch it. Now, did you see that? My hand is stretched out. So if you play guitar, to play this solo up to speed, your fingers are going to be stretched out quite a bit. So just be, if you're trying to play the way how I play. Now, obviously, you don't have to play exactly like me. You can take bits and pieces of it and move it around. But again, you're going to be stretched out a bit, and it's on that second part. I'm going to point it out. Right here. You saw how when I went down, I swapped to using my middle finger on the fret that I'm supposed to be droning off of right here. Watch again. You have to be on your middle finger when doing this part. At least, I wouldn't say half. For how I play it, I'm on my middle finger here. Now watch the reason why it's going to come up next. Because you need to be here. And if you're like this, if you're here and ready, it's very easy to make the next transition. So I'm going to do it again. It's a very smooth transition, but you gotta watch that left hand. Watch my left hand again. I'm gonna slow it down even further. You'll see that I swap from middle finger to index finger. It's very quick. I'm gonna slow it down further. Watch my left hand. That's why it keeps it smooth. And if you get good at swapping around like that, then you don't feel the bump or you don't hear the bump in the music. So that's my recommendation on that right there. Okay, so if you find a better way to play, hey, kudos to you. This is just how I play it. So just FYI, this is how I play it. All right, last thing is the 16th notes at the end. Or the 3 measures before the end. So it's this part right here. So listen in. Now, I'm not the best, but sometimes I get it really nice and other times I don't. But essentially what you're doing is, if you know how to count time, let's say we're in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's switch up to eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the next one is gonna be 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. That's what you see right there. So if you're not familiar with how to read music, that's what it is. So you got the 1E and a. Wrong note. Let's go on the right fret now, okay? There we go. So again, 1E and a, 1E and a, 1E and a, 1E and a, 1E and a. It's very good to just practice this. So once you've gotten that down, you have a half rest. You don't stop the strings. You're just not hitting anything. But you're on the half beat, on the end of the second beat, you're going to pop the fifth string. 1E and a, 1E and a. If you get that down, boom, bada bing. That's it. That's how you play it. It's fun. It's a fun tune. So we'll go through one last time. We're gonna go one verse, and then I'm gonna end the video. And I hope you enjoyed the tap. So here we go. Glory, hallelujah, I shall not be moved. Anchored in Jehovah, I shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the waters, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the waters, I shall not be moved. So just like me, I mess it up. But the one thing with banjo, you don't stop. Don't stop that music. People won't notice if you don't make it might make a fuss out of it. Have fun learning it. It's a fun tune. See you next time.